SINALOA and the bucket of oysters. Okay, SINALOA, this is one of the biggest lessons that I learned many years ago. And SINALOA stands for Safety in Numbers and Law of Averages. Safety in Numbers and Law of Averages. Maybe you want to make a note of that because it's so important. And if you remember back to that taproot, if you just introduce one or two people, chances are that, they're not going to do anything because they've not invested 100,000 or 200,000 or 500,000, which is what you would need to do for a normal conventional business. So as soon as the going gets tough, they throw the towel in and they quit. Whereas if you do the numbers, you're going to find the people that are chasing you, and that will give you power. If you've got one or two people and you're chasing them, it's going to be, don't come and talk to me about that business kind of thing. So, work on numbers. And I like to, as you see here, I like to draw a bucket. And I show people, let's say we've got 100 oysters in that bucket. Every oyster fisherman on the planet will tell you for every 100 oysters, there'll be 3 very precious pearls. 1,000 oysters, 30 pearls. 10,000 oysters, 300 pearls. So I'll say to the new person, we've made that list now. We've got 150, 200 names. That's their bucket of oysters. And I'll say to them, and I'll explain this when we're making the list on the strategy meeting, I will say to them, if you open 10 of those oysters and we don't find a pearl, would you throw the other 90 away? No. If we open 20, would you throw the other 80 away? No. Would you open 1 a week? Most people know. What would they do? They would open all the oysters and find the 3 very precious pearls as quickly as they can. And that's the advice that I'm giving to you, and you must give to your new person. When I started in network marketing, I spoke to 117 people in 3 weeks. Didn't leave messages. 3 weeks, I spoke to 117 people on the phone or face-to-face. 42 confirmed they were coming along to a presentation. Back then, there was no PowerPoint or internet. It was in 1989, and the presentation was done on a flip chart. And I made it a fun thing. It was a reunion. Some of these people I hadn't seen for 5, 6, 10 years. So we were going out for dinner afterwards as well. But 42 confirmed, and 27 came along. And Dan did the presentation. He was the stranger. I didn't do it because these people knew me, and they would say to me, Geoff, what do you know about this? You've had a dancing business for the last 10, 15 years. You've been involved in dancing all your life. And then they'd start talking to me about holidays we'd been on and family and et cetera, but nobody knew Dan. He was the stranger. So he told the story. And of those 27, I thanked them for coming. We booked a small boardroom in a hotel. I said, some of you, the timing will be right. Some of you, it won't be. For those of you, the time is not right. You guys go and get a drink afterwards, and then we're going for a meal. It was at 8 o'clock, and the meal was booked at 9:15. Then we were going across the road for a meal. And about half of the people went upstairs for a drink, half sat downstairs. We sat down, we booked a time when we could get together on a one-to-one basis. And of those 117, 10 joined in the first month, and 3 were serious. And I focused on those 3. And many people say to me, what happened to the other 7? Well, life sometimes gets in the way. They were moving house, maybe changing job. Maybe their daughter or their son was getting married. Or maybe the cat needed its toenails cutting. There's lots of different reasons why people start in our business and then don't continue. We say all excuses are equal. So important, SINALOA, safety in numbers and the law of averages. Take notes whenever you can, because it is something that will, really help you build your business. And, just go back to that taproot and read, watch that video again, or read the book where it's talking about duplication, and you'll see again what I'm talking about there. So good luck, and remember, safety in numbers and law of averages. Your company that you work with does not advertise. The more people you talk to, the more no's you're going to get, but the more yeses you're going to get. But most important, the better you're going to get at inviting people. Thank you.